just two. Quote, some people think the Federal Reserve banks are the United States government institutions. They are not government institutions. They are private credit monopolies which prey upon the people of the United States for the benefit of themselves and their foreign swindlers. Louis T. McFadden. If that doesn't scare you, I don't know what will. And it was Thomas Jefferson, I believe. But again, another scary, scary quote was, more than anybody ever trying to invade us and come to after our country, they are more scared of central banks. If there was ever would be a Federal Reserve central bank that could come in and take over our country's currency. Well, congratulations, people. There's the problem. The currency is controlled not even by we the people. It's not controlled. So here we are looking at the Democrat side. We're looking at people that need handouts. You know what? I feel like sooner or later I'm going to need one. You know? Anyone that knows David Olson knows I've worked my butt off my whole life. And so has my wife. And I'm not going to need one. But I'm just saying I can feel it now. I can feel like I can see where people get there. And I shouldn't. I shouldn't have to worry about that right now. I'm smart with my money. I always have been. I'm not extravagant. I feel like I should be able to be a little more extravagant, actually, but can't be. Why? Because of the value of the dollar. You know, it's hard to go do things. My goodness. So anyways, maybe if we start working together and saying to each other, let's look at these people with handouts. And even the people that have been conditioned, why are they conditioned to handouts? They're just little kids. You know, I'm 46 almost. So they've grown up. Their parents, they didn't want handouts. We're working. We're trying really hard to get jobs. It didn't work anymore. Those same jobs that you used to be able to get by on no problem, it's a problem now. So now they come up, their children are born, have a kid or two. Well, guess what? The checks are coming in the mail. That's all those poor children see. They don't realize growing up, hey, this country used to have a value to it. You could go out and get a job. You could go work and stock shelves. And you know what? You could live and you could be proud and you were considered a valuable person in society. But now they've got us fighting, you know. Anybody that needs a handout is considered, you know, unworthy or something wrong, or we're taking care of you. A lot of people that are saying we were taking care of you 5 years ago that don't make quite as much as I do, we're taking care of you now too. And guess what? Boom, 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 here we go. There's only a few people on this planet Earth that will never need a handout. They're coming after everybody, okay? Trust me. And people right now that don't have to worry about it, I know a lot of people own a lot of nice stuff, big houses. I promise you, it's tighter today than it used to be. And if this continues in a year or two, people that thought they would never have a care and worry are going to have it. There's only a few people that are okay with that. And it's not 1%. It's not, this 99 to 1% is silly. It's 0.001, okay? That's what it is. It's the 12 central banks and their groupies, okay? Their little hub around them, their little groupies that they got. And that's not 1%. That'd be millions of people. It's a few thousand. And here we've given them from top to bottom, from all races and religions. We've given this Federal Reserve currency, the world money. First time in the world, the world's been dependent on one currency. And you know what? That's what's funny is our government, you know, we're getting a little mad at some of these countries. You know why? Because they're getting ready to go off of our standard. They're getting ready to drop our dollar. They're talking about using gold. They're not even using gold. You know, you get mad at China all you want, Iran. It's amazing. Libya, Iraq. It's amazing the fights. And I've talked to a lot of soldiers, by the way. I'm not saying this myself. I've talked, okay? It's pretty amazing that a lot of people talk about it's oil, which I agree with too. It's pretty amazing that we get a little mad at these countries that consider getting off of our Federal Reserve System. They've become much bigger enemies all of a sudden. It's kind of interesting. Because some of the same problems going on in other parts of the world that exactly the same that we say we're fighting for, we don't even look at those people. They're not a threat to us. And I don't mean a threat with bombs and things like that. I mean a threat to the Federal Reserve. And yes, Russia and China are starting to trade with other currencies, and people, please get ready. I'm just going to say I'm not a professional person in finances. You shouldn't have to be, actually. It should be pretty simple. But our fiat, the dollar's going down. It's going down soon. So if you've got a bunch of money in the stock market, a bunch of money in 401ks, please take some of it, just some of it. Cash it out while you can, and go get some silver, junk silver, gold, but silver's probably by far the best deal you can do right now, and just have it. You know, a lot of people get on the preppers. I think we saw with this hurricane, you know, a lot of people think those people are crazy prepping. Hey, I don't care if it's a natural disaster or the dollar drops overnight and collapses, solar flare someday, I don't know. Just be prepared, have some food and water for your family. That's just smart. You should do that anyways. Why wouldn't you? But I do feel that the dollar, we're going to wake up. Remember 2008? And I also remember, I think it was 1987, when a guy at my club in Washington, you know, I had to get called in. Nicest guy in the world with a family, put a gun to his head. And it happened all in a couple days. Because all that money people put in all these years, all that paper money you put in, they can take it from you like that. And don't you think they want to get it in? It takes several years for the so-called crash. I wonder why. Because then when it crashes, they've got you. Guess who's dependent on the government all of a sudden? Rich people. People that are, you know, I'm sorry, talking a little bit now to other people. You're going to need it too. And that's what they want. All of a sudden when your bank account's not what it used to be, because the dollar, and oh golly gee, how'd that happen? Nobody, no excuses is all I'm saying anymore. It's been out there. There's been a few congressmen talking and congress ladies about the Federal Reserve. It's no 1913. It's been there. Anybody that starts talking about it immediately is considered a wacko, but not anymore. Interesting, people are actually waking up. Congress finally did pass Audit the Fed. Oh my gosh. What do they got to hide? What are they so scared of? Why won't they let we, the people, look at all the money they printed and where it's gone? Please, if you're going to listen to one thing I say, please, let's stand up and demand. Let's find out what they've been doing overnight. We could change this world. So-called golden age. If we can do that, yeah, it's going to be a little scary at first. Wouldn't you rather just get it over with? And I've got 2 children. You know, I don't want to put it off on them. And I want them to have kids. And I want anybody in this country, from top to bottom, I think you should have anything you want. What you earn, you should keep. Period. Okay? The taxes in this country are ridiculous. We can pave the roads. Well, we're going to pave the roads. Oh my God, trust me, it doesn't take that much. And if everybody was doing well and the value of the dollar was where it should be, trust me, there'll be plenty of money. You'd be happy to write a check. You would be happy to donate. You'd get anything in your town fixed, trust me. It'd be simple. But the whole goal of these institutions, the politicians now, a lot of them, most of them, and the Federal Reserve, they are buddies, I guarantee you. Democrats, Republicans, you just do your own research. I'm sick of people fighting, Republican, Democrats. Both of your presidents on both sides, every time you get a new Federal Reserve person, you don't get a business person, someone that's been there. You run right down the street to J.P. Morgan, one of the big banks. You run in there, and you hire one of those guys. And they're in the same building. They're in the same street. They all are friends and buddy. It's amazing how the Democrat president, Republican presidents run to the same street, the same building every time. And yeah, even, oh, there goes the phone right there. Romney was talking about, well, I'm going to fire Ben Bernanke because he ran off a little bit off. You know, he's catching on, the people are catching on about this Federal Reserve stuff. So Romney, I might fire Ben Bernanke. Okay, yeah, you're going to do that for show, obviously, and you're going to run down the street and hire his best friend. You know you were. That's how it's always been done.